made it to the Vancouver Police Museum. As Nicole's friend she met today said, we have a police museum? Yes, Vancouver, you have a police museum. This museum is really fascinating, but has some pretty gruesome things. So we just went through an exhibit of various cases, some unsolved and some solved, dating back to like the early 1900s. The most recent one there was 1994. It's kind of detailed the crimes and what the police did to try and solve them. And here behind me is a gruesome part of the exhibit so far. We're inside a coroner's room. This building used to be a coroner's office, I guess, for a while. But there's a bunch of pretty gruesome and not so healthy looking exhibits here. Of autopsy stuff, kind of like showing various human bits and wounds that were identified in them. Like some of the more easy ones to see. Here's a section of a heart with a gunshot wound. Here is a stab wound to the heart. I'm not quite sure what some of these things are. Pretty gruesome looking, and the specimens themselves don't look like they're in that great a shape, but pretty interesting if you can stomach it. And then on this side of the room are some coroner tables, like washing stations. You could see like just lying the body here. I guess this is used to prop the head, and then you would be able to rinse off the body. You're loving this place.
I am. Would you like another factoid?
Sure.
The story goes that the bullet hole behind me here was caused when there was a body at the table, and the bad people, the criminals, didn't want the pathologist to want the coroner to find out what happened to the body, so they waited in the dark corner, and when the pathologist came to wash his hands here, the light was on in the back and he was lit up, and the man shot through the window but missed the corner, so he was able to deliver his findings after all. Take that, criminals. That saw there is what you would use to saw the skull off the top of your head. If you watch enough CSI, you'd know that.
So yeah, I got confirmation here that this building was used as a morgue, and they did autopsies here from 1932 until 1980. They used this building as a morgue, and this actual room that we've been showing you was where they did the autopsies. This isn't a recreation, we don't think, based on the information on that shotgun hole or the bullet hole in the window. Right behind Nicole here are where all the bodies would be kept. What are you doing in here?
I'm reading about the true crimes in Vancouver's history. See this axe here?
Yes.
It was used to bludgeon 5 people.
Yeah.
And you can still see the blonde hair stuck into the axe.
That's gruesome.
I don't know why I'm smiling.
Yeah, that's a bit morbid of you. Over the years, the Vancouver police have seized some pretty crazy and scary weapons. I wouldn't want to come across anybody wielding one of these things. It's quite the collection here. There's ninja stars, various knives. Like, look at this one. That's a massive knife. All kinds of switchblades. Various types of stun guns. This one here was made from a kit, apparently. This is a flashlight stun gun. This full-on mace. And look at this one. This is crazy. 95. What does it say? A morning star. Various weapons made out of chains. That looks like a chainsaw chain. Various nunchucks. Look at this glove. Some brass knuckles. A variant on Lucille. And a cane sword. Pretty twisted to be wielding some of those things.
The Vancouver police force was the first police force in Canada to swear in women onto their force in 1912. Can you see me as a police officer? I knew this was going to be a matter of time. What do you have behind you there?
My facilities.
Oh no.
And it's pretty fascinating. There's some really interesting exhibits here. Like I was saying, from the morgue, there's a good exhibit here showing various unsolved murders. The morgue itself is really cool to see. Seeing the specimens was kind of gross. And seeing the tools that they used to perform autopsies was neat. As you saw, Nicole could identify them from her years of watching CSI. What else was there here? There's a lot of interesting little tidbits to learn about the police and what they've been up to over the years.
It's a small museum, but they really jam-packed it in with lots of goodies, and it's a good way to while away like an hour
Couple hours.
Yeah, a couple hours. I really like the gross human specimens left over from the 50s. It was really neat to see. I like that the morgue was the actual morgue, and the tables and the gurney was still there.
The scariest part of the museum for me was actually the room with the gang-related information. They had like a couple walls set up with maps and that typical kind of like string from a pin out to information showing various gang members' activities and deaths and whatnot.
I think that's
and that's like it was this current up to 2015. So it seems like they have quite the problem here with that.
I think it's more scary because it's recent and it's current, whereas all the other exhibits kind of happened in the 1930s to 1960s, whereas they focus most of the exhibits in that time period. So it kind of feels like not a storybook, but you're looking at it from afar.
Yeah, that's totally what made it feel a bit scary to me. All right.
And I like learning about the history and factoids.
Yeah, you like your factoids. All right, I think we're done here though. So let's move on. Saw this restaurant on my way to meet Nicole last night, walking from Stanley Park to Momo Sushi. I had decided to walk down Robson Street. I started from the very top of it and headed, I don't know, was I heading south? I'm so confused by the directions here still. I don't know which way, but anyways, I was walking towards home. And I saw this ramen restaurant which serves sukemen, which is a style of ramen that you've really wanted to try for a long time.
What is sukemen?
What is sukemen? Sukemen is a style of ramen where they serve the noodle separate from the broth. And the reason why they do that is so that they can keep the broth really hot and the noodle is served cold. And so what you do is you dunk your noodle into the broth and then you slurp it up. And it gives a really nice contrast of the hot and cold.
I thought my meal was delicious. I like the hot and cold. I found that I was able to up my slurping game because the noodles are cold, so I was able to like scoop in my mouth faster.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a really nice contrast, and the noodles were really firm. So they served them quite firm, and they were thicker than your standard ramen noodle. It was really good.
It's always fun when you want to try something and then it lives up to your expectations.
Yeah, this was something you were hoping to find in Japan, and we just never, for whatever reason, made the effort to find it, or we never happened upon it. So finally, you had it. What about the egg? What did you think about the egg?
The egg was perfect. My outer egg was spicy-ish, and my inner egg was gooey and soft.
Yeah, the egg was really good. I've had better egg, but I've also had a lot worse egg. Like the yolk was a little bit more cooked than I normally like, but it was still really gooey. So I was able to bite half of it off and squeeze, like I was squeezing it, and the yolk was just kind of oozing out. But it was a little bit on the overdone, like close to overdone side.
Was the egg tasty? Because mine had like a spicy coating on it.
Yeah, it was tasty. It was definitely tasty. The other thing that was interesting was that they served the pork differently. So pork is usually sliced, but this one was chopped, so it was in chunks, and they kind of like sunk to the bottom of the ramen, the opposite of what sliced is, which is usually served on top. I quite liked it actually. It was different, but I didn't dislike it or like it more than the sliced pork.
I like sliced a lot more. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because when they slice it, there's like fat, and I like fat.
I had some fatty pieces.
Oh, I didn't get any fatty pieces.
But yeah, so a good version of sukimen, I would say.
Very good.
Not that we're experts since that was our first one, but it definitely lived up to expectations. And next time we're in Japan, we'll definitely make an effort. We should totally make an effort to find it.
I think so. Well, judging about how packed it is in there and that there's a lineup now, I would think that other people agree that it's a legit ramen place.
Yeah, the inside's really cool as well. We sat at a big table at the front of the restaurant, which at first I didn't want to because I didn't want to sit with other people, but I think it worked out better because we had a much more open environment to enjoy our ramen. The bar at the counter at the kitchen and the back of the restaurant's a lot tighter and darker. So I think we ended up with a good spot.
I think we did.
All right, so I'm hankering something sweet. We saw something on the way over here that yeah, I'm really interested in going to check out. You're not so much, but I think you'll follow along and find something there. Let's go.
Just down the street was the place we saw earlier called Chico Japanese Dessert Cafe, and I managed to lure Nicole in for a dessert because they had ice cream. And Nicole is always a sucker for sesame and green tea ice cream, and that's exactly what she got. Well, I decided to go for one of their crazy parfaits, and I say crazy because it has a lot of ingredients inside. Let me try and recount all the things that are here in this cup. It starts off at the bottom with strawberry strudel ice cream, sponge cake, fresh fruit, caramel sauce, corn flakes, whipped cream, strawberry jello, strawberry macaroon, Japanese cheesecake on top, vanilla bean ice cream, and strawberry sauce. It is quite the dessert, and Nicole thinks this is absolutely disgusting, but I love this kind of thing, and it was the perfect way to top off an amazing ramen dinner. This is maybe the second last time you'll see us leaving the condo, heading out the back here. Today is Friday. I didn't close up last night, but basically we had that dessert that you saw us eating, and we walked back home and went to bed. I was tired. And then today we got up, it's Friday. Did I just say that? It's Friday, and I had to work. We finished work, and it's now 2:30, and we did a little bit of packing upstairs, and now we're heading out. We're gonna go have lunch, and we have to stop by Budget Rent-A-Car of all places because I think I left something in the car, so I'm hoping that they have it. And then we have to swing by the mall, swing by home again, and then we're going out to our activity that we were hoping to do yesterday but didn't work out, so we're going to do that today. And then one last major sushi blowout. We're gonna go to, where is that place called? Kadoya?
Yes.
Kadoya, which is the only place we haven't hit twice. So, yeah, jam-packed afternoon and evening. And we'll get a bit of time down tomorrow to look around before we have to head to the airport. But the trip is quickly winding down. So, we're almost at lunch. We're excited. This was one of the things we wanted to hit. It was on the list when we got here, and we're finally making it happen.
found a Japa dog. This was a place that I had read about. I think I saw it on TV actually a long time ago, and found it when I was researching food places in Vancouver, and was really looking forward to coming and trying it because they have some really crazy looking hot dogs. Nicole opted for the cheesy smoky. Was it spicy?
Spicy cheese smoky.
Spicy cheese smoky, and hers is going to be really good because it took 3 years to develop. It took them 3 years to figure out how to stuff 3 kinds of cheese into her sausage, and she's drenched it with a wasabi mayo. I went with an okonomiyaki style dog. It has, I don't know what it has on it, onions, mayo, it has bonito flakes. It looks pretty crazy. So do you want to try yours first?
Yes. Look at all the people lining up for Japa dog.
Yeah, it got really busy all of a sudden.
The bun is nice and toasty, nice and hot, kind of crunchy. That's one good hot dog.
That's a good hot dog?
Good hot dog.
Nice.
The wasabi mayo has a really nice flavor. The hot dog is juicy and cheesy.
So there's mine. This is a pork sausage. Oh, there's some lettuce in there as well. I can see they grill the bun. So far, I've really just gotten to the sausage. It's really good. It's really juicy, eh? It's a good sausage. It's really tasty.
Good quality meat.
Yeah, it's really good. And I see there's also okonomiyaki sauce in here.
How are the bonito flakes?
Messy. They're good. It gives it a fishy smell. I don't taste them though. That's good. I think that's better than expected. I figured this was going to be a gimmick, but it's really, really good. The fresh onion is a really nice flavor on here. Well, as well, it's not lettuce, it's cabbage. And maybe I was deceived. Maybe there is no onion. All right, I polished off mine. Yeah, I don't know why I was tasting onion because there was no onion in there. I was being deceived somehow. There was cabbage, mayo, and okonomiyaki sauce, and then the bonito flakes on top. And the sausage itself is really good, really juicy. The toppings, I want to try more, but we just don't have the time on this trip. But I did commandeer some of Nicole's sausage to try. So let's see how your spicy cheese sausage is. But first I'm going to try the mayo. The mayo is good. It's got a kind of a light wasabi flavor, but it's still nice and creamy and mayo. That's good.
Which one do you like more?
I think I like mine more. Your spice is definitely very mild, eh? It's not very spicy. And I'm getting a little hint of cheese, but not a lot of cheese. I think the mayo, you put too much mayo on for my liking. I think the wasabi overpowers it a little bit. But still, I like a good quality hot dog. But what was your take? Your take is that it's good, but you're not sure if it's world famous good or destination good.
I would come here, if I lived around here, I would come and get it fairly often or once in a while, for sure. But I don't think that it's a destination.
I could see myself eating this once in a while. Like as often as we eat hot dogs, which is like basically never. But you eat a lot of hot dogs, that's true. I barely eat them. But I could see coming here once in a while as well. For the novelty of it, try the different flavors. It's good. All right, you're gonna finish up this and then we're on the move. Oh, we finally made it to Nelson the Seagull. We've been trying to go to this place for a couple weeks, and we missed it a couple of times. The most recent was yesterday. After the police museum, we were going to go and check it out, but I misread the website. I thought they said it closed at 6, but it closed at 5. So we got there just after 5 and just missed it. So I was pretty happy to go check it out because it was recommended to us by somebody here, and it was really good. It was a really cool space. They had really cool flooring, lots of big tables. They had chairs that kind of reminded us of being in school. A lot of weird, eclectic kind of knickknacks here and there. And they did a really good flat white, which is what I had. She let me film her doing the latte art, and she pulled it off on camera, which was good. The guy at Nemesis, he was joking with me that he was going to choke, and he did. But she pulled it off, so that was good. And they have some really good baked goods, which is why we went. Apparently they do some really good food there. But we just came from Dog, so we weren't looking for a meal, but I did try their caramel nut tart, which was really good. The caramel was really, really good. And the crust was really crunchy. It was almost like a cookie. So yeah, enjoyed that place. And now we're in Chinatown. Nicole is on the hunt for something. I think she's looking for slippers. So I'm just following her on her quest for another pair of slippers. You probably will remember these slippers from that video of our first visit to Chinatown where she got some, and we explained that she can't find these anywhere. We've looked in several Chinatowns all over, I shouldn't say all over the world, but definitely in Toronto. We looked in Chinatown, San Francisco, New York, and they don't carry them anymore because they don't make them anymore. But this place in Chinatown still has some stock. So she's hunting for them, and we'll see if she finds them. Nicole found slippers, but unfortunately they're a bit small, eh? You bought a pair of 35 slippers last time we were here, and your foot kind of hangs over by just a little bit.
It wasn't that much.
It's like it just hangs over a little bit.
Less than that.
Yeah, but you were desperate because you love those things, so
I
you got
do.
another pair of 35s.
They're never going to be around again.
You should put them in a case, a glass case, and never wear them.
Or yes.
They're relics.
They are relics, but
Just like, no, never mind.
that's not. I don't like where that's going.
Okay, I see Newtown Bakery over there.
How many bows do we need?
At least one more.
Okay.
All right, we went to Newtown. I got another steamed bun along with a bunch of other stuff. But that other stuff is for later.
The
But
other stuff is for Nicole.
this steamed bun is for now before it gets cold. Remember the noob mistake I made the first time? So I got a steamed custard bun.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah,
Who wants custard and who wants it steamed and who wants it in a bun?
me? So let's see if I can get into this. Yeah, the custard is not exactly what I was expecting. It kind of looks like the coconut paste that is in a coconut bun, but it's not that.
Is it like the 1,000-layer cake custard?
I don't know.
I think it reminds me of 1,000-layer cake custard. Is it yummy?
Not yet. I mean, it's good bun, but come on, the filling's where it's at. Who wants plain steamed bun? Not me. That's good. It's got an interesting texture. Like, it's creamy, but like a little bit thicker than like a creme anglaise or like a creme brulee. It's a little bit thicker than that, and it's not overly sweet. It's got a nice mild sweetness. Oh, I see. I started it from the other side. Like, look at how little bun there is here. I started it from the side with most bun. So that's the way you want to eat a bun. You don't want to end off with a bunch of empty bun because you've already gone through the filling, which is the best part, and then you get to all this bun and you're like, what the heck happened? Starting off with all the bun and then working your way to the custard filling that's the way to go. So I got lucky on that.
Okay, so which is better out of the sweet bun wars? The coconut tart or the custard bun?
Ooh, that's a tough call. The coconut tart was really good. But this is also really good. I'm gonna go with this. That could be because this is in my hand and this is what I'm currently eating. But I do really like the custard. I do really like the kind of thick custard and not super sweet. Just a nice light sweetness. So if I had to order both again, how am I supposed to choose?
You're supposed to choose the egg tart, which is the best.
That wasn't one of the options. I don't know. It'd be a tough call.
All right, let's get ourselves home and break into the egg tarts.
Okay. Remember when we first got here, our first day on Friday, because we landed late on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And on Friday, we went out for the first time.
Yes.
And we had no idea where anything was. And we were going to Pocorito.
Yes.
And we walked past this amazing wall, which is this long, it's about a block. It's a full block, and it's graffiti the whole way along. It's really cool.
Crazy how a month changes everything, because I feel like we kind of know the immediate area like the back of our hands.
Yeah, I still get thrown off a little bit. Like when we came out of the bay today, I was totally turned around for some reason. And even when you pointed it out, I couldn't make sense of it. But for the most part, yeah, I know kind of where to go. Mm-hmm. You definitely know where to go. You're the bot.
I'm the bot.
You're the walking, talking Google map. Once you've been somewhere,
Yeah, once I've been somewhere.
then you lock it in somehow. But we still need the Google map for our first foray out.
Oh, yeah. Because it doesn't help that I don't know my left from my right.
Which one's your left?
This one.
Back at the condo, in my favorite spot, on the couch, directly across from the TV. But we're just here for a quick little break. Nicole made us some tea, and the tea cups are all being used for coffee. There's my coffee for the day, so we got it in glasses. Good tea. Is this tea from Tenren?
No,
No.
it is not.
Okay. And the reason why we are drinking tea is because we are about to eat egg tart. So we got home with our egg tarts. They made it. The box protected them.
That egg tart is so good.
So good, eh? It's a big egg tart.
It is.
You're not used to getting egg tarts this big. And the crust is like really soft. It's not a very thick, hard crust like the tart I had at the cafe, which was sort of like a cookie crust. This is not. It feels very delicate. You can see it's got like two layers. The top layer is a little darker, and then it's got a really nice creamy interior. So good.
So good.
And the crust is really flaky and soft, and it's not overly baked, eh? Like sometimes you get a crust and it's kind of been over baked, so it's tough, but this isn't. It's very flaky.
This is a
The egg custard is super velvety and tasty, and not over sweetened. It still tastes eggy. It tastes very eggy.
perfect egg tart.
It's really good. All right, so we should finish these up and get, maybe we'll do a bit more packing, and then we're gonna head out to fly over Canada, and we'll give you the gist of that when we get there. Made it over to Canada Place for our attraction tonight, Fly Over Canada, which is an interactive video experience flying over various scenes of Canada. Let's go check it out. Wow, that was incredible.
I know, right?
I was not expecting it to be so amazing.
That was a good attraction. I can understand why they had so many high ratings.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it. You looked it up and you researched it, and you were telling me that it was one of the top attractions in Vancouver. And now I fully understand why.
It was a ride.
Yeah,
It wasn't just a movie. It was a full-on ride.
Yeah, it was cool. So you come in. It wasn't too busy. I mean, I guess it was pretty full, but it was. They handled the crowd very efficiently, and it wasn't like a movie where you had to get in to get good seats. Every seat was probably perfectly fine the way that they've set it up. So you can get your tickets online, which saves you a bit of cash, right? Like $5 almost per ticket. And then you just come here, and then you go up, and they have showings every half an hour, I think. I think it's every half hour, and you just go up and get into line. So very orderly.
It was.
They're very efficient with
Very.
packing all those people in. It was
was.
incredible. So we've stood in line for a little bit waiting to be let in, and then you're let into a big room, and they have a pre-show presentation. I didn't really get it.
No, it was a bit disjointed, and
Yeah.
it wasn't okay pre-show, but it wasn't blow your socks
Yeah,
off.
you kind of stand in a room, and on either side of the room there's a screen that they project this other presentation on. So we watched that. That's 6 minutes, and then they push you along to the next spot, and this is where their efficiency kicks in because they separate you into two sides, one of 4 people or more, and the other side was 3 or less. And then from there they start pushing in the bigger groups, and they have aisles with circles on the floor representing the number of spots in that section. So they just start filling it up, and they really got it done fast. And then from there they showed us a little sort of pre-boarding video, like a safety video type of thing. And then they take you up and put you in your seats. And the seats were these big, huge things that kind of...
They're like those roller coasters that shoot you straight up and
Yeah,
drop you.
they're kind of like that. And they had like a little roof over you, and then the guys come and make sure you're buckled in. You have to wear a seatbelt. And then when the show starts, everything goes pitch black, and you can feel your seat moving up. Well, actually, there's a barrier in front of you, like a railing. So as you walk in, this railing stops you from falling over the edge, and then that goes down, and then the seats move forward, and then the show begins. And discreet, it was incredible, the projections and the imagery.
It was. The first half, I felt like it was padding. Then I was entertained by their
First half, you mean the first projection, the first video?
Yes.
Not the actual main event.
The main event was amazing, but I think because the main event was only 8 minutes, and this was $50 for the two of us with their discount around there. So I felt like they probably needed to flesh it out a bit. But the actual main event was amazing, and I was really worried because when we got in, it looked like it was full, and then the way they separated you felt like you got the kind of the theater to yourself. You didn't really feel like...
Yeah, a lot of people got packed in somehow. And think of each row at the cinema being its own area. So you don't see anybody from the row in front or behind you. They just somehow get engulfed into this projection room. I don't know exactly how they did it.
I heard it's 4 floors.
That's what, there was a lot of stairs. But and I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling a little bit wonky. I'm very susceptible to motion, so I get motion sick very, very easily. And I did have to close my eyes a couple times because it really swerves to the side, or it's going up a mountain and then it accelerates and then the mountain falls away and it just drops. And those things I would be lying on this bench if I had kept my eyes open. And the seats move to some degree because even with my eyes closed, I could feel the motion. But it's not too bad. I think.
They spray you. Don't forget the sprayage.
It's like the 4D movie at the aquarium. Whenever you're going through a cloud or near water, you get a little mist. It was more of a mist.
Yeah.
The aquarium was more like a water gun squirting you in the face. This was just like a nice, refreshing mist, actually.
Was it refreshing?
And did you notice that when we were in the Arctic scene, the mist was really cold?
Yes, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. So would you do it again?
Yes, I would do it again now if you weren't sick.
Yeah, well, no. Imagine I didn't get sick, and
yes,
yeah, totally. I would do it again too.
Yeah.
I wonder if gravel would have helped. Could have drugged myself up before we went in there. But I guess it's dinner time. What time is it?
Ooh,
8 o'clock. So yeah, we're going to go to, where are we going? Kadoya?
Yeah, let's go to Kadoya
for sushi. One last hurrah at these amazing Vancouver sushi joints.
It's sad to
It's going to
go.
be back to reality tomorrow.
It's gonna be back to small, stingy pieces from Toronto. Stingy Toronto sushi pieces.
Yeah. All right, let's make our way out of here. happened?
What happened to us?
So we're not having Kadoya. We walked all the way over here, 25-minute walk roughly, and we got up close to Kadoya, and it looked a little suspiciously dark.
And quiet.
Very quiet, and when we got up close, it was closed, which is very unusual because it's Friday night. It's not late, it was about 9 o'clock, but there was this note on the door that said that they had to close, sorry for the inconvenience. So we weren't overly disappointed because Samurai is basically right across the street, and we really like Samurai. We really enjoyed that meal twice, and we wanted to go back, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to do a third outing to the same restaurant. And Kadoya we had only done the one time, so we wanted to do it again.
But it was closed.
It was closed. Oh well. So darn, we have to go to Samurai. But they're jammed. They're like crazy, crazy busy. So we're not going to get a table in there anytime soon. I guess they're taking the overflow from Kadoya since it's just like right across the street basically. So we ordered takeout. So we're going to take some takeout home and enjoy this on the comfort of our couch, watching some YouTube, and then we can get packing.
Oh, it was sounding so good and so
Yeah.
promising
Well-
up into that.
Well, we have to do it, right?
Oh, did we tell them about the Donair dude?
Oh, Donair dude.
Donair
Yeah.
dude.
So they're so busy that she said come back in 15 minutes. There's nowhere to stand in there. She's making everybody who's waiting for a table stand outside. And so we were just exploring this area a little bit, and we walked past a place called Donair Dude, and it smelled amazing. Oh, I want it so bad.
I know.
Even you.
Yeah.
Nicole hates that stuff.
But it smelled good.
Yeah, you're not a
Ooh.
big fan of shawarma and stuff like that.
No.
But even you were salivating.
I was like, ooh, that dude is
Yeah,
onto something.
He knows what he's doing. Dude knows what he's doing. So why don't we just have that?
No,
Screw the sushi.
No, dude, we paid.
All right, let's go pick up our sushi. Let's hold our breath when we walk past Donair Dude though this time. Oh man, we got our food. It was waiting and ready, but there was a long lineup of people picking up their food and putting orders in. So it took us another like 5 minutes once we got to the restaurant to get our food and get out of there. And now we are basically on the verge of running home because we're so hungry. I think we're walking extremely quickly, but we got our food. It's quite a bit of food. And we're gonna get home, ferociously rip the bag open, and just get chowing down. So we will try to remember to film and show you what we got. Some of it's a repeats because we enjoyed what we got last time so much. We got a few things again, but we'll still show you if we remember before it's all gone.
All right, here's my dinner. I got the same thing Nicole got last time, which is the sushi set. Comes with 2 pieces of salmon, 2 pieces of ebi, and 2 pieces of tuna. And they do seem to be big on the albacore tuna here, not the red bluefin. And a dynamite roll. And I also got a crunchy roll on the side. And Nicole got exactly this as well. And a soft shell crab. How does the soft shell crab
I don't
look?
think it survived very well. It's tiny compared to the previous.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it though.
I'm sure I will though.
Alright, let's dig in. It is now 10 o'clock. Time flew. So we're gonna eat dinner. Maybe we'll do some packing, or just get to bed and get this packing done in the morning. There's not a ton left to do, I don't think. Odds and ends. Most of my stuff's in the suitcase already. I just gotta do my toiletries and what I'm wearing, and that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a good filming travel day. So see Vancouver airport a bit more, and maybe on the flight we'll film a little bit more. Now that we have the microphone, it's a little bit easier to pick up our voices over the aircraft noise. But yeah, so we're gonna just eat this and go to bed. So we'll see you tomorrow.